So when I initially heard about the budget cuts happening specifically under Doge, I immediately knew that USAID was going to be somewhere on that chopping block, guys, because when it comes down to it, we have Americans suffering. I mean, I understand the slight help potentially to other nations, but it should definitely not be on a monthly basis indefinitely. If you want to be a part of something like that, I do think that that should be a organization that is funded exclusively by donations. That would make a lot more sense, rather than our tax dollars going specifically to, all around the world. It would make all the sense in the world if we were to not do that, specifically in a place where people are legitimately suffering. We already have a moderate humanitarian crisis around the nation, guys. We are not a perfect country. Love my nation, love the country, love my flag, etc. But we are not perfect. Okay, it may be just because, for example, our median income would basically put us at but basically put all of us at like the 1% in terms of the globe. But within our nation itself, there are people still suffering, even making the money that people are making, guys, right? So I think USAID specifically should have always been some type of like donation based thing in the first place. Like, you want to do this. Don't force me to do this. I'd rather build something that benefits Americans. I'm gonna be honest. And that should not be considered selfish. But for some reason, somehow that is considered selfish. And this is the craziest thing in the world, guys. But either way, 2,000 fired USAID employees are hysterical after Trump slashes wasteful organization. Let's jump into it. It's a suggestion via Discord.
2,000 USAID employees had a meltdown after they were fired in line with Trump's savage cuts to the department. A group of anti-Trump protesters assembled outside the USAID offices in DC and cheered on the fired employees as they left the buildings with their belongings. The sacked staff made a statement to Donald Trump as they were leaving their offices, with comments like, "You can take the humanitarians out of USAID, but you can't take humanity out of humanitarians."
Great.
Online commentators slammed the bizarre display, with Charlie Kirk saying, "To the 2,000 USAID employees getting released today, I'm sure there's lots of other left-wing NGOs you can find gainful employment at. Oh wait, we're defunding those too." This commentator agreed, saying, "The best video you'll watch today, USAID employees getting fired."
All right, you're kind of rubbing salt in the wound here. Now, again, if you are someone who actually has interest in putting your money basically where your mouth is in terms of like these individuals here, then why not start your own, NGO that's based off of donations, where you can help fund other countries with your money. And I think that would be a great idea. It should not be something that is mandated by the federal government, guys. It just does not make any sense. We're paying taxes for our country, not someone else's. What other country is doing this large scale? Large scale. Us? Come on, guys.
The axe to USAID comes after Donald Trump and Elon Musk have dedicated a lot of time over the past 2 weeks to exposing the waste of the organization.
What's going on there?
Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision.
Sky News contributor Douglas Murray applauded Donald Trump and Elon Musk on their commitment to slashing waste, saying Doge should be extended to other countries.
They're gutting USAID, something that has alarmed the Democrats,
a lot of countries
the
are going to
activist
take it
class,
on.
and even the Vatican. The Vatican claims this will cost millions of lives. But you wrote a piece
Then why doesn't the Vatican pay for it?
for The Spectator arguing that this money has been going to essentially insane people who hate America, and that the UK and perhaps other Western democracies should follow America's lead here.
Absolutely, Rita. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, everyone knows about government waste, and we often talk about it.
Right.
But when someone comes along and actually tries to stop government waste, there are all of these howls.
Right, they're evil.
What Elon Musk and his
How dare
Doge
you.
team found in USAID, and it's merely the surface of it, what we've actually read about, is an incredibly corrupt wasteful and what's more anti-American system. It would be one thing if there was a foreign aid body in your country which was doing sort of soft power, pro-American, pro-democracy, pro on the side of freedom, pro-free market sort of movement. But what you find in USAID, what the team found, is what you can find in the UK's foreign aid budget and many other countries, which is actually the American taxpayers were paying for systems that actually seem to rather dislike America and seem to be rather anti-American. And in many cases were examples of the American taxpayer funding versions of the hopefully now increasingly defunct American woke mind virus around the world. There was a bit of a hullabaloo because early on it was said that there was $50 million that had been used to buy condoms to send to Gaza. And it turned out that actually that was a slight misreading, and it was $50 million for condoms in part of West Africa. I don't really see that that's the biggest misreading imaginable.
I mean, if you're referring to a place that is basically, rampant with HIV/AIDS, I can imagine how that could be potentially a thing, but $50 million? And again, why are we specifically spending the money for it, guys?
The question, I think, for a lot of American taxpayers is why are we selling a very large number, why are we paying for a very large number of condoms to be sent anywhere in the world? Can't other people buy their own condoms? But I mean, that's just at the sort of easier end of it. I mean, there were things like the American taxpayer was paying for people to have sex changes in Colombia. And when the Democrats and certainly the international critics of Elon Musk and Doge weigh in on this, I have a challenge for them, which is, if you think the American taxpayer is so flooded with money that they can pay for Colombian sex changes, and if you think it's absolutely outrageous that that fund should have been stopped, there's a great opportunity, for all of the left-wing governments in Australia and elsewhere. Why don't you pick up the slack? Why don't you pick up the slack if that's not the wrong metaphor to use?
They won't, because they won't. No one will.
And you pay for the Colombian sex changes.
We're just
then you can feel really good about yourself and not just beat up on Elon Musk.
Okay, that's it. Guys, they're not going to. No other country would take on the burden that USAID has basically given to us. All right? Not a single one. Why would they, guys? Right? Understand that for a second. They're like, oh, you guys over there are rich compared to the rest of the world, so you should share your money with the rest of the... Why? For what? For what reason, guys? Right? And again, he's right here at the end here. If anyone has that massive complaint, bro, donate your whole paycheck out there, guys. Do your thing, right? Because I don't want to spend money on that. I would rather spend money on things that we specifically need. Like, our infrastructure is hot garbage, guys. All right, we need to work on our infrastructure. That's real. I'm moderately laughing here, but it's bad. Okay, our healthcare is terrible. Let's work on that, please. And I beg of you, all right? We should not be the richest country in the history of the earth, but then yet be the fattest and sickest and always in the hospital. But I guess that's, it's a business, so that's why I guess no one is trying to fix that specific aspect of society, guys, right? But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. The fact that you just made it to the end of the video says a whole lot, actually. We have a couple other channels. MrLboyd Music, MrLboyd Movie Reacts, along with MrLboyd Discusses, where I just generally speak about the things that specifically matter to me. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.